We're live! Woo! Hi everyone, we're back. It's been a while. I'm your host Lee. With me as usual, Syrvivor Syracuse royalty Madison.
Oh my god.
And and we are recapping episode 11 and 12 of Syrvivor Syracuse Heroes Vs Villains. Madison, how have you been doing?
Doing well. Got a new job. Chilling.
Yay! Congrats on new employment.
Thanks.
I'm officially on my Easter midterm break, so woo!
Congratulations on that.
Yay! Still have assignments to do, but we get a break.
You got it. You got it.
Spe- and speaking of break, it looks like the Heroes versus Villains is gone. There's no more tri divisions. It's now free for all. Everybody fend for themselves.
I'd say so for sure. Even though
Yeah,
we just saw two villains go home.
two amazing villains. Well, let's start at the beginning of episode 11, where everyone realizes that there's a reason why Austin's not an acting major.
Yeah, that was a funny bluff, especially with my relation to it. It was
Yeah,
just funny to see him try to pull that off when I know a lot of people knew
like, we
about it.
know that's not real.
Yeah.
Once again, Madison gets another show in an episode, proves that she still should be there.
Oh my gosh, thank you.
Yeah, we will forever turn down the idea of transition tribes.
Yeah.
I know that not Australian Survivor, the U.S. Survivor is now kind of doing that with a merge,
True.
kind of like a weird transition.
Mhm.
It's coming next episode. Hopefully,
Yeah.
it's not. Hopefully, it's all within the same 1 week because I'd rather not have a non-elimination episode.
Yeah, that's true.
And everyone pretty much is just talking about the Austin vote. Some people are happy, some people are not. Kat was like, I lost my person that I can go to.
Mhm.
As somebody with experience losing their allies weekly when they played their first time, you can probably relate on this.
Yeah, it's a little debilitating, especially if, like, it's your person that you go to bounce ideas off of. Like, when I lost Owen and I lost Joe back to back and Jason, RIP King, but, it's tough to want to continue. Obviously, Kat's like, she's still in it, she's still doing her best, but it's just it's sad when you see your allies go.
Yeah, because you're like, that was my ride or die. Now
Mhm,
what?
mhm.
It's like it's very difficult just to find new relationships with people.
Absolutely.
But she managed to do so.
Mhm.
And she is still thriving to this episode. Episode 13 will be out in a couple of hours, I think.
I believe so.
So, oh yeah, everyone is like, apparently, this was the toughest vote for Jack to do to vote off Austin. Out of all the votes, this is the toughest.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was like a cringe moment. I was just like, excuse you?
I mean, he technically didn't vote you
That's
out.
true. Exactly. That's his saving grace there.
Yeah. And everyone is just going on about how they wish they all wanted to do Hannah, but it's like, oh, we couldn't have the numbers.
Mhm.
I counted at least 6 people saying I wanted Hannah gone.
And the
And I'm
math's
no
not
math
adding up. Yeah,
I'm no math major, but isn't 6 the majority of a 10-person
I
tribe?
would say so. I would say
Yeah,
so. Yeah.
it seems like it could be.
Mhm.
And pretty much everyone is just saying, "Oh, I don't want this to be heroes versus villains. I don't want this to be heroes versus
Mhm.
villains," and yet it's still heroes versus villains. If only people could do stuff about that.
Mhm.
And then someone did. Thank you, Miss Dolan.
Yes, indeed.
And we get this moment of Gabby Hanna, the players, not the Viner, of just saying
True.
like, "I wish all the queens could just like get together." And I'm assuming they're talking about like just all the girls coming together and just like voting each other off, which is great in theory.
Yeah, I think it's always sad to see a plan that could have been so good but just didn't happen. Um, Everyone's playing their own individual game, and I understand it not making sense from their perspectives of what they wanted from the game. But just looking back, they're just like, why didn't they do that? We could have had all the women. Like,
I mean, there's only 3 guys left. It's only Jake,
Exactly.
Jack, and Mitch.
All
Well,
threats to win. So
yeah, and Owen at the point of this episode, but not anymore.
that's true. They handled that.
Yeah, they got 1 man out,
hmm
so it's something. Woo! And oh yeah, heroes. Oh yeah, and then they pretty much been saying what I've been saying the whole season that the heroes cannot play Survivor,
yeah,
which I think it's fair. I think a small few of the heroes can.
I agree with that 100%.
Yeah, I say like half, a good half of them could play.
Exactly. That's a good amount.
Yeah,
Um,
compared to, well, when you compare it to all the villains, where all of you were just amazing players.
of course,
Yeah,
absolutely. Love all
and
the
then you just
villains.
have the heroes that are just like, some of
Yeah.
yous are fine.
It's okay.
Some of yous I wish went sooner.
hmm Yeah.
Yeah. Heroes can't. Oh yeah, and then Hannah passes out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you have Paul and Gabby just being like, "What do we do? Do we like wake her? Do we leave her?
Yeah, that was
Do
funny.
we do we
Some
record a
comedic
video
relief.
of her and just send it to everyone?"
hmm
Uh, the joys of Survivor.
Joys of Survivor for sure.
And we get to the challenge, and it's Dizzy Bat.
See that?
Survivor Classic. Now you have experience playing this challenge.
And I was good at it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you were like the runner-up in the challenge.
I was.
Yeah, damn you, Holly.
True. It was a Madison Holly showdown in the peak of it. Madison
The-
versus Holly.
The peak of. Oh, remember those times?
Remember those days? Yeah.
Remember those days when it was like Madison versus Holly, and now what do we have? Like Hannah against the world.
Yes, I know.
And speaking of Hannah, she almost wins this challenge.
She does. She
Yeah.
did very well. Hey,
Yeah.
I have a very flat head, and I think Hannah does too. So I think that cane, that was like a beneficial thing to have for this challenge. Don't get me started. Don't get me started. I'm out here able to balance anything on my head. So
Yeah, I just have terrible balance. I'd be terrible at this. Also, I get dizzy very easily. Actually, oh Jesus. Actually, I'm okay. I get dizzy pretty easily. I do dance, and so like I know the classic like ballet terms, like keep your head in one spot. But when your head's down like this, I'd immediately just be like, okay, I'm down.
I remember chuckling at Owen's strategy because he was like squatting or something. He was like kneeling down as he was trying to do it. And I was just like, doesn't that just make it
Worse?
harder? Yeah.
There is no strategies to dizzy bat. It's just spin, run, and pray.
I guess, but he was just like doing a dance almost with how his walking posture was. It's okay though.
Owen. So it's split into 3 sections. We have Abby versus Gabby versus Jack. Abby wins. Yay. Then we have Kat versus Cam versus Mitch. Cam wins. Yay. And then we have Hannah versus Jake versus Owen. Hannah wins. Yay. Female empowerment.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Seems to be a running theme between these 2 episodes. So the final is Abby, Hannah, and Cam pulls off the win. Congratulations, Cam.
Yeah.
Cam. Yeah. Cam, this kind of just shows, like, imagine if Cam was not the first boot.
Like, yeah, we would have been able to see more of her being a challenge beast.
Yeah, challenge beast, and honestly, kind of an under-the-radar threat.
Under-the-radar player, absolutely.
Yeah. I think she's probably, like, the true smiling assassin of the season.
I agree.
Yeah, and not a self-labeled one. If you guys watch my Scotty Survivor review, you know what I'm on about.
Okay.
Yay, Cam. And then idol clues. Nobody can find this goddamn idol.
Yep.
Yeah, idols are hard.
Idols are hard.
Yes. I have never found one in my Survivor career, and I probably will never, ever find one.
Don't give up, Lee. You can find one. Silly.
Hopefully. Maybe one day.
One day.
I just keep having people give me their idols and then me playing them successfully.
That's pretty impressive, too. That's like a subtle flex.
Yeah, I can get people to play idols for me.
What?
Which is something some of these people can't do, or probably won't do. And, oh god, like why is everyone's obsession with sharing things with Jack?
Yeah.
Like Cam says, I shared the idol with Jack and Kat. Kat, I shared the idol with Jack. Abby, I told Jack this. Jake, I told Jack this.
It's very easy to watch back and be like, oh, why are they doing that? Everyone's telling Jack everything. But like, I remember when I was playing, whether I had reason, like correct reasons or not, like Jack's a very easy person to talk game with, and he will hear you out, and that's nice to have. So to me, just knowing how Jack plays, it makes sense to me, but I understand how frustrating it can be watching it back and being like, why?
Why is everybody working with Jack, even though they
Mhm.
keep calling him a threat? Oh, it's like these people don't see each other's confessionals.
Exactly.
Maybe that should be. Let's bring back like the very old Big Brother twits where everybody could watch each other's confessionals. That clearly went well,
Yes.
and plus it would stop people complaining.
Mhm.
And Cat's on. Oh yeah, Cat's on like people's radars because like, oh, hero, kind of the leader of the heroes almost. Actually, no,
Maybe.
not almost is.
Yeah.
Yeah, secret challenge threat. Not really secret challenge threat. Tight with people, but then we have our good old girl Hannah Dolan, who is sick of the game and is wanting to take risks.
Mhm.
Yay!
Yes, Hannah.
And is going after the big threats. We're going after Jake, we're going after Jack, we're going after Owen, we're going after the three people that people think Austin pointed at. He's not very good at pointing. People were like, is he pointing at Hannah? I think that's Jake. Maybe it's Gabby.
Yeah.
So Anna plans on targeting basically one of those three. She doesn't know which one, she just knows it's one of them.
Mhm.
And it's now like the time to make a move on these big players. Should Hannah be really be focusing on maybe we should get rid of one or two more heroes and then like worry about the villains? Or is now it's like, all
Maybe,
right, now's the time to move.
but I think she realizes time is of the essence, because it's kind of clear that a lot of people don't really trust her or have it out against her because of her season 2 performance, we'll call it.
Her
um,
extravaganza.
yes. Um, but I don't know. That's a good question, but I think I trust her judgment, and it could have been good. It could have
Yeah.
been good.
We then get a quick confessional for Owen. He says he's busy. Immediate red flag.
Mhm.
Whenever
Mm-mm.
somebody says, "Oh, I've been busy this week. I hadn't had a chance to talk to anyone," that's usually code
Rip.
for, "Oh, you're going home."
Yes.
Was that ever a case with you on season 4 or 3? It was like just somebody just like not responding to anyone, and everyone's just like, that person can go.
Jason, in the case of Jason, even though Jason did talk to some people, that's what happened. I feel like Jason would have stayed if he had a little bit more time that specific week, but he had some stuff going on. So,
The burden of real life problems.
hmm
Another thing you must tackle in the world that we call college survivor.
absolutely, that's a huge part of it.
So we get to Hannah finally deciding on a target. She picks Owen
Mm,
because round 3, I assume.
I guess so.
And Jack, he's okay with getting rid of Owen, and is just sick of Jake of always getting his way.
Yeah,
Like, just because he's a super fan and obsessed with the show, he has to get his way.
I
And
thought
then,
that vlog from Jack was hilarious. Personally,
yeah, and then you cut to Jake's rolling off some weird stats to put himself higher. Love you,
yes.
Jake, but
hmm
really? Oh, great. Now he gave me the idea. It's like, oh, I think I'm going to write a list of every person that's done multiple seasons and made single digit placements.
hmm
That's going to take a while. Thanks, Jake.
Yes.
I've mentioned multiple times here that I always say superfans are not good at Survivor. Now, there's many who prove me right, but then there's a small few that prove me wrong.
That's true. There's always that small minority that
Yeah, Jake, I
proves.
do think is one of them.
hmm
Hannah's another, I would say as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, but majority, if you're a super fan of the show and you let people know, you're most likely going to do terrible.
hmm True.
Red flags on. Oh
Red
yeah,
flag.
yeah. Play red flags. Notes are fun to read.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, super crazy. Oh yeah, Jake making up random stats. And then we get all of a sudden the tennis alliance that I'm kind of
Mhm,
quoting now. It's like we find out that Abby, Cam, and Kat they play tennis together. Tennis is a sport, people,
mhm. Tennis is a sport.
and they start talking with each other. It's like, ooh, maybe this is a new trio alliance. And from what we saw in the episode 12 teaser, that kind of could evolve more.
True.
We're seeing Abby's game is very much behind the scenes. Everyone's just viewing her as like Jack and Jake's third person, but when you look at it, she kind of has like all the information. And she's
But
like
as I
someone who
can
goes to.
attest to personally, if she were to make it to the end, like, because that's kind of similar to how I played in season 3, it's hard to convince a jury that, hey, actually, I did know what was going on. I was excellently placed in the middle, never targeted, because people perceive me as under the radar. Though I think she's played a great game and she's extremely under the radar, I am, just because of my personal experience, I'm hesitant to see how a jury would perceive her game, have she get to the end, because it just seems that everyone views her as not really playing.
Yeah, and perception is reality in Survivor.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not screaming, "Oh, I'm making this move against this person," then you're labeled not playing the game.
Mm-hmm.
Than simply knowing what's going to happen, anyways.
Yeah.
Maybe if she was a man, it'd be different.
Yeah, absolutely.
Tell me I'm wrong.
You're not wrong.
Owen, oh yeah, and Owen is apparently the only one with a resume. Probably because he's the only one that has idols. Does idols
I don't know
equal
if I would agree with
resume?
that. Yeah, I don't know if I would agree that Owen's the only one with a resume, but if that's a
Yeah.
perception people have, like you said, perception is reality in Survivor. So
Yes, people tend to put like idol plays with
power moves.
power moves. Like although with Owen's case, he did manage to play both of them successfully.
True.
And if you look at the people he got out Mitch, which if he stayed out probably would have been a big thing, but he came back.
Mm-hmm.
And then Cassidy, well, Cassidy was good. She probably would have made it far, but I don't think she would have won. Like if it was somebody like vote, oh, Owen played this idol and got out
But Cassidy
Austin.
was a number against Owen, so I think that was a good move for him.
Yeah, so maybe he is the only one with the other people with a resume. I definitely think, well, Jake and Jack are obvious with resumes. I would say Kat has a resume. Who else would you say has a resume in the game?
Mitch coming back, winning a couple immunities, being idled out the first time around. That's like a pretty baller way to go out. And that's all I would say for now.
Yeah, there's still more episodes to come.
Mm-hmm.
The day Mitch gets voted off without an idol play being happening would be a miracle.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because it's a canon rule in Syracuse history. If you are Mitch, you have to get idled out with only one vote received by an idol that Jack gave somebody else in the pre-merge.
True.
If it's not that, then you can't be voted off. So Mitch is probably going to make it to the end.
True.
Tennis girls. Who has the idol? No one knows. Everybody assumes it's Jake, which they are correct.
True, but not that idol.
Yeah. They know he has an idol. They think he has an idol.
Yeah.
It's just they can't 100% say, unless your name is Jack and Abby and Gabby. Mm-hmm. If your name rhymes. Oh my god, I just realized it's the rhyming alliance versus the others.
Yeah.
Oh, that's going to get so confusing. And then it's more talks like, oh, is it going to be Owen? Is it going to be Hannah? Owen, Hannah. Maybe it's Jake. And then we have Gabby, your favorite person in the world, who wants to believe and trust Hannah with like, new game, new Hannah. And then she's played all these sequesters and Survivor obsessed and does not believe that Hannah's like very much, I think you should win. I'm okay if I lose, but I want you to win.
Which is sad because Hannah was genuine. It's very sad to see that.
Yeah, Hannah was very like, 1, pro women, 2, pro pre-merge.
Pro Gabby.
And very pro Gabby. Yeah. Says she has the best tits in the game. Oh, Hannah. We are going to miss you, Hannah.
Mm-hmm.
If only you're on our screens for 2 more episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, and then I wrote down everybody obsessed with getting out Hannah.
True. Everyone can't get her name out their mouth.
Yeah, it's like Hannah's always on their mind. It's like Hannah, Hannah, Hannah. Wait, who
Obsessed.
else is in this game? Who am I? Am I Hannah?
Maybe.
No.
Who knows?
And then tribal happens, and then Owen goes home by everyone, an 8-1 vote.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, people, it's the merge.
It should be
Unanimous votes should
spicier than
be
that. It should be spicy.
unanimous votes should be out of the way by now. And then
Mm.
you get a confessional from Jake. It's like, I'm the only person sacrificing people here. Here's an idea: don't write down Owen's name. Write down Hannah's.
Mm-hmm.
Or I don't know,
Or playing it. If he really wanted to save Owen, he could have.
Yeah, you had an idol.
Yeah.
You could have gotten out Hannah and just say like, oh, Owen found the merge idol.
Mm-hmm.
Although that would have been like 3 idol in Owen's name.
Well, Jake could have played it. He could have just been like, I play this on Owen.
Yeah, here you go.
Yeah.
Although I think that would have been a lot of explaining to do to Jack and Abby.
True.
You know, why did you play this idol on Owen? I didn't. He had it. So Owen's gone. Your body strong duo member.
Yes.
Maybe he should have kept you instead of Jake. I feel like you probably would have played an idol on him.
He actually, this is a little bit of tea. After he was voted out, he did text me and he said the biggest mistake of his game was voting to keep Jake over me.
Aww.
Yeah.
Well, at least he knew what his crimes cost him.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's a common thing with some of these people. Because
yeah.
Jack said, my biggest mistake in the game was not giving you the idol to save yourself and Jake. Then you have Owen being like, my biggest mistake was voting you out.
Yeah.
When in doubt, keep Madison in the game.
Yes.
Madison for season 9, 3-time player.
There we go. Going back to Syracuse. Sign me up for Masters.
Yeah. Madison will be the Syree/Boston Rob.
Let's go.
Keep her going until she wins and rig a season for her to win. It's like, here, we're going to give you a bunch of players who don't know Survivor, 17 idols.
Come, my children.
Dance, my puppets, dance.
Exactly.
Yeah, we'll throw in one returning to make it look like, here, we'll just set up you versus Holly.
Exactly.
Campaign for Holly versus Madison to be the new Russell versus Boston Rob. Who is who? So your decision.
Yeah.
And that's the end of episode 11. Woo. Owen played an amazing game.
Yeah, he played a good game.
Yeah, especially compared to his first season. Because his first time, not going to lie, could barely remember him.
I would concur, yes.
Yeah, and then this time, like, he has a lot more to his name. He definitely played a better game in the season than he did first time. So, well done, Owen. Yes. I wish your vote off count was more interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Though, we do get that in the next episode. Oh, yeah. So, episode 12, Owen's voted off. Sadness. Although everybody was like, oh, the vote was unanimous. Now what?
Yeah, I thought we were drawing just like, lines here. Okay.
Oh, maybe I should have thrown my vote on someone else.
Mm-hmm.
When in doubt, throw your vote. It sometimes works, unless you're Jason.
Sometimes, yeah. No, in other cases, when I threw my vote on... No, actually, I didn't vote for Gabby. I threw it on Holly, and I still...
Yeah.
Yeah, never mind.
The reason behind your war with Gabby
was... Yes, so.
I cannot wait if I do ever go on this, like... Now realizing that Madison actually didn't vote for you, would you have still gone so hard against her?
Yeah, we gotta get Gabby on here.
Yeah, hurry up and get voted off, girl.
Oh my god.
Get voted off early so we can get you on here. Oh yeah, speaking of Gabby, Jake is very much prepared to go with her and Abby to the end, assuming it's a final 3. We don't know for a fact.
Yeah, we don't know yet.
Yeah, and he kind of gives like, oh, they played amazing games. Like, I see the games they played. I think in the back of his mind, it's like, no one's voting for them.
Yes, that's exactly it. He is underestimating them extremely.
Yeah, but he's trying to be nice and spinning off like, oh, we're friends and like they have great games.
It's not
working.
No. It's very obvious.
Again, we can tell you people are not acting majors.
Hannah was though.
Hooray for Hannah!
Yeah, there we go.
We get more of Abby being like, I want to stick to my clueless act and just pretend I don't know anything, when in actuality I'm knowing everything. And
Mm-hmm.
the reason why I act so nonchalant about everything is like, I knew this was happening. You people told me.
For sure.
Yay.
Yeah.
Hannah wants pre-merges to go far. She's like, I want Cam, underrated strategist, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Underrated player. So Cam, potentially an underdog winner?
Maybe.
Yeah. And Gabby has Hannah's vote to win, so that's something. Give Gabby
Absolutely.
more reason to vote you off. Like,
True.
oh, so you're gonna vote me off and vote for me to win? Perfect.
Perfect.
That's one jury vote.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where we come to talk about Survivor players, specifically superfans, and their passion with Survivor. Is it hard to vote off someone that's just like so passionate about the game, but
No, people
you
do it all the time. They view it as a threat.
Yeah, but that's
Just they like say that they feel bad, but they do it. So
yeah, I would probably have difficulty if it's like if you compare it to like something like did you watch Michigan 4?
I have
The
not,
wo-
no, but it's on my
okay.
list.
Okay, I'm not going to spoil anything too much, but there's this
Yeah,
one
don't.
person on it who very obviously does not want to be there.
Oh,
Hilariously, but does not care. Actually, there's a couple of those.
okay.
Michigan 4 is not good. You didn't hear it from me.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have like these people who really do care about the game, and when you look at it like that, it's like, oh, like I know this person was like gunning for me, but they cared so much about this game. And then you have these other people who's like who doesn't even know our names, and it's
When
like
it's
week
that
7.
drastic of a difference, I definitely understand like not wanting to vote for the people who are actually playing. But I think everyone is at least a little invested in this game.
Yeah, everyone is like they're putting in the effort, even
Yeah.
if they're just there to have fun. At least they're putting in
Yeah.
effort. And Clueless pre-merge in the morning. Oh yeah. Oh no, Hannah's in morning, not she's in the morning. She's trying out this new goth look. Looks great,
Mm-hmm.
Hannah.
Mm-hmm.
I thought she was in mourning for Owen or just like in mourning for
No.
something, but she predicted the future. She was in mourning for herself. She kind of breaks the fourth wall a little talking about Cam's like Cam's edit may be underrated, but you watch, she's like strategic mastermind.
Mm-hmm.
So Hannah can see into the future.
Absolutely.
And oh yeah, amethyst crystal for protection. Good to know that they don't work.
Good to know. Big
Good to
noted.
know. Yeah, so if you were ever in consideration of buying yourself an amethyst crystal for protection, let Hannah Dolan show that it does not work. But still get one, they're pretty.
True. They are pretty. I like the color.
Yeah. Yeah, purple is clearly one of my favorites.
Yeah, me too.
So, challenge time, team balance time.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's pretty much a tie to the first ever challenge of Syracuse history with the first ever individual challenge of Syracuse history. It's balancing a ball across the way and then holding a plate and balancing. But the teams are being decided. Schoolyard pick, and everyone is crying. Well, anyone who ever went through that horrible schoolyard picking phase.
Yes.
Yeah. Thankfully, never last pick, mainly because all the girls in my class were always picked last because they never did anything.
No.
Was my school sexist? A little.
Sounds like it.
Yeah. It's rural Ireland in the early 2000s. Sexism was the norm.
Yeah, same for Pennsylvania.
Yeah. So Jack and Abby are the captains. These dividing and captains are so like I don't know what the right word is, but like coincidentally, like you had well in the first challenge you had like all the heroes and then all the 3 main villains split against each other, probably alphabetically, and then you have like the 2 main people on like opposite sides. I call it conspiracy.
Suspicious for sure.
Yeah. So we have Team Jack. Where did I write the teams? Oh, here we go. Jack, Mitch, Cam, and Gabby, and versus Abby, Jake, Kat, and Hannah. Of course, Hannah was picked last. God, the poor girl this season.
Mm-hmm.
So Team Abby wins. Yay! And then Abby, Jake, not Gabby. Abby, Jake, Hannah, and Kat have to do the plate balancing, which Kat won the. Why do all these people's names sound so the same?
It's okay.
Why couldn't you get voted off early? So Kat won this in her first season, and she won it again.
True.
Hooray! Officially, all the heroes left in the game has won one immunity.
That's interesting.
And the only villain to win immunity is Jake.
Wow.
So far, he can add that to his survivor stats. So, Kat's safe. She's the first ever Syracuse person to win the same individual immunity twice. Ha, beat you to it, Jake.
There you go.
And clue 4 goes out. Nobody can still find his idol yet.
Mm-hmm.
And as the biggest shock of the season, Hannah's the target.
Very
Again.
sad.
What does this make? 4 tribals in a row?
Yes. Very, very sad.
Yeah. Oh, I wrote down again, why is everybody telling Jack? Because Jack is good at the game. At this point, I had to be like, yeah, Jack's just good.
Yep. Everyone
Yeah,
likes to hate on Jack, but Jack's a good player.
Yeah, you hate on those that are good. If he ever does come on this, I'm going to be like, how do you do it, mate? Do you have any tips?
Yeah.
How do you get everyone to just spill everything to you? But even though Jack's a great player, he's starting to rub on people's nerves. He's texting Jake on a Friday night while Jake is getting blasted.
For the super fan, he should be playing Survivor. That's my take. Come on now.
Like, if you're such a super fan, you should be surviving 24/7, not out having fun.
Yeah. Or at the least not hating on someone who is. That rubbed me the wrong way. I was just like...
I would say, was he drunk? But it's hard to tell. Everyone here is legal.
True.
Yeah. And, oh, I wrote down Jake partying, annoyed with Jack, parentheses, out of sync audio.
Yeah, that was funny.
Sorry, Survivor editors.
It happened.
Yeah. So, in the result of partying and for some reason not being hungover, Jake, how do you do it? He finds another idol.
He does.
Yay! That makes he found 4 idols within his 2 seasons. More stats towards Jake. Will he use these idols in any way meaningful? Probably not. Judging by the type of player most college survivors are, he's probably just going to hold on to them until Final 6 and then just play Final 6, Final 5.
Mm-hmm.
If he wants to really be impressive, he should play it for someone else to get out a big threat instead of just keeping himself safe.
I would agree with that. Missed opportunity.
Just my opinion, and I'm usually right. As coming from somebody who's never won. Actually, no, I have won some Survivors.
There you go.
Woo! 4th overall, and he tells Abby and Jack. Now, I understand telling them about the first idol because you kind of found it with them.
Yeah, that was...
But you found this idol all by yourself.
There's just no... Especially, why do they need to know you have 2? Just keep that one to yourself. Like in the instance with when I had 2 idols, I told people about one of them.
Oh, yeah.
That's fine.
I remember,
but only after I had my second.
I remember that whole old ordeal with like you messaging Lydia being like, do you have an idol? She's like, do you have the merge idol? And it was like, I don't have the merge idol. I have the body idol, but not the merge one.
Yeah.
And then you found the merge one.
Tee hee.
Yeah. One day I'll find an idol.
You will.
And then Jack finds idol, tells Abby and Jack why, still answering that question. Everyone's names is being thrown out. Everyone's getting their names thrown out. Hannah's, of course, Jake, Jack, Abby, Kat. Hell, Luke's name was thrown out a while ago.
Yeah.
Everyone is a target except Kat. She has immunity. Congrats.
True.
And, oh god. Jack does not want to talk with Hannah. Pretty much like... it's like, come on, you're really not helping yourself, Jack.
Yeah.
Like, I know you're trying to be like this different person. I'm sure you're great outside the game, and I'm only judging you based on the parentheses.
The
on
edited. Yeah. Not even all of his stuff, but edited.
Yeah, on an edited version of a college version of a CBS reality show. But come on, mate, you're not helping yourself. Maybe he's just trying to make the season entertaining. It's like, I'd much rather talk with people on cams rather than text, because text you can't get anything. Just like, okay. But he does not want. And then Jake decides to pull the feminist card and be like, Jack's sexist, pretty much is what he's saying. And oh boy, as a female and somebody that worked with Jack, thoughts?
That was offensive to me because Jack heard me out, let me strategize with him, didn't underestimate me, didn't talk over me. Jake did all those other things. So that's just my 2 cents.
Yeah, Jake, love you. You're a great guy. I've seen a couple of confessionals of you kind of shit talking Hannah and Gabby
And
and some
Abby
others. I
and
haven't seen the
Kim
Abby
and
one.
Kat.
And yeah, I know it's we all kind of know that Survivor is kind of sexist. If you've seen the recent Australian Survivor season, it's pretty obvious it
We're
is.
working on it though. We're trying to make it better. It's
Yeah,
just
we're trying to
people
make
have
it
their
better.
own biases that
Yes.
will come out.
Yeah, again, it was very early in the year, and these people have changed, and it is a
Absolutely.
reality show.
Yeah,
So,
and an edited one at that. So
yeah, an edited reality show for our entertainment of college
exactly.
students playing.
No hate.
Yeah, let's maybe leave the real life stuff to the real show.
Mm-hmm.
And oh, Hannah's planning Jack's murder.
Yeah, that was funny too.
Jack
Therefore,
is
he
not
must
making me. Therefore, he must die. Oh, get Hannah on like I hate this show, but get Hannah on like Big Brother just so we can watch her in like
I would love to
confessional.
see that. I would love to see how that would go for sure.
Yeah, like some of these people, Survivor maybe not, but Big Brother, it's a terrible show, but they'd be great on it.
Mm-hmm.
Like just confessional gold. If only there was a show that was just purely like for confessional people. Oh wait, The Circle.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Oh, that's coming back. I hear there's a fourth season.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I don't watch the US version because it's terrible.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Yeah, I much prefer the UK one, but I'm pretty sure that one's cancelled.
No.
Oh, sadness. And then oh yeah, while Hannah is planning Jack's murder, Kat's planning Jake's. She'd
Yeah,
much rather see Jake go. Because
that's
Jake's the
good.
obvious threat, as Jake will tell you.
Mm-hmm. As
Lot
Jake will
of
tell you. That's funny.
a lot of confessionals of him being like, I'm clearly the winner. Like, obviously, I'm the front runner. Of course, they're targeting me.
Yeah.
And to be fair, Snake Nero is a big name going into the season, and he has that name. So of course he's going to be thinking, of course these people are going after me. The amount of times they call me Snake Neighbor.
Mm-hmm.
The joys of presumed threats. Kat's pretty much like kind of sticking. I don't want to say unnecessarily sticking her neck out for Hannah, but it's more like sticking her neck out to make Jack not the target and Jake, because she's like gung ho, get out Jake, and Jack's like, maybe we can flush his idols. Kat's like, why? Let's just vote him out with the idols.
True.
Yeah, and Jake's like, I don't want to be voted off with 2 idols. Who am I? Luke in the charity stream?
Good one.
Yeah, if you want to know what I'm referencing, watch the charity stream. It's fun.
Mm-hmm.
Madison was in it,
I was, yeah.
as well as a couple of other Survivor familiar faces.
Mm-hmm.
Poor Lydia gets voted off first again.
Yeah.
However, Hannah's not convinced that Jake should go and still votes Jack. Well, let's say you're in the game, you want immunity, and Jack and Jake, who would you go after? Or as a viewer, who do you think is better to go after? Stick with Jack or try on Jake?
Between those two, stick with Jack
Yes.
and vote out Jake.
Even thinking he has idols.
Yeah, like time to flush him out. Like he's got to go at some point.
Yeah, I feel like you can easily predict which players are the type of players that's like they're going to hold on their idols until like Final 5 or Final 6 and
I
never
would
play
agree.
them. So Jake, I think, would have been a good choice. I think actually Jake would have been a good choice because while Jack is getting a lot of information, Jack rubs people the wrong way easily. And plus, you have the ongoing feud between Jack and Hannah, which is hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see them on X on the beach, even though they're not dating.
Yeah.
Sorry, Erica.
Yeah, I love Erica.
Oh God, imagine. Oh wow. I'm just imagining like a couple on Survivor, and then I kind of realized, Oh wait, Michigan All Stars has a couple that's coming back.
Ooh.
Yeah. Want to know what I'm talking about? Wait for the oncoming cast review of Michigan All Stars.
There we go.
I have a score to settle with Mr. 6 and 6.
Ooh.
He's on season 4. You'll learn who he is quickly.
Okay.
Cat Red Jake. Oh yeah. Hannah goes off and like how Cat is like doing all these things while her cat is also in the shots. Shout out to Arya. Love cats.
Yes.
Every time she says Arya, I know it's Arya from I want to say Game of Thrones, right?
Yeah.
I keep thinking it's Arya from Pretty Little Liars.
Yeah.
Like that could be the same one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And everyone is worried that it's going to be a potential tie and that they're going to go to Rocks. As somebody who went to Rocks, what made you not like flip on Lydia and stick with Lindsay and be like, let's do Rocks?
I thought they were going to do the thing in Survivor where they had a second to have an open discussion, but Survivor Syracuse skipped that, and we went right to Rocks. So I wouldn't have went to Rocks, but I did because the rules were explained weirdly.
Yeah. And I quickly mentioned the charity stream. You were somebody in the Tyvo, and people were considering going to Rocks for you.
Yeah, but that was different. That was for me.
Of course. Why didn't they go for Rocks for me, and then ended up being the final 3?
Yeah.
Shout out to Cooper, Aaron, and Shane.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of Shane, I'm doing a podcast with him reviewing Scotty Survivor. The new season came out. It's crazy.
Oh, great. I can't wait.
At that, oh god, there's this twist of a puppet
No spoilers.
master.
No spoilers.
It's in the trailer of the second season,
Well, I
but
haven't seen the trailer yet.
it's crazy. There's some person who goes out and beyond.
All right.
They do a game. They do a move that I thought was a production thing, and it was not.
Okay.
And now we get to see your bestie gal Gabby kind of pull a fast one from Hannah and Mitch, and she kind of convinces them, "Yeah, we are all going to vote for Jack. Don't vote Jake," which leads Hannah being voted off 4-2 to 2, since Mitch and Hannah voted Jack, while Cam and Kat stuck with the Jake plan, and then the Rhyming Alliance votes off Hannah.
Yeah, very sad.
Yeah. I kind of feel like once Hannah saw a Jake vote, she kind of knew, oh, it's me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hannah Dolan played an amazing game, and the season will not be the same without her. Yeah. I asked if she wanted to join the podcast. Well, I asked her like 3 months ago if she'd like to join, and she only finally got back to me because she does not know how Discord works.
It's okay.
Yeah. I thought it was hilarious. It's like, oh, girl, it's okay. But she is too busy having a life.
Fair enough.
So, Hannah, whenever you see this, we love you, and we are so sad that you're gone.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
Yes. Improved game from season 2? Absolutely.
I agree.
And season 2, she was just wild, and then season 4, she was just wild, but like entertaining wild.
Mm-hmm.
And now that Hannah's gone, people are going to have to come up with new names to write down.
That's period. This period.
Like,
yep.
Oh shit, we got rid of Hannah. Now who do we do? Who else is in this season?
Mm-hmm.
We are now at the final 7 with 4 villains and 3 heroes. One of those heroes is a returning hero. All 3 heroes are capable of winning immunities. Kat and Cam are the only 2 people left that have not had their name written down at all.
Yeah.
And Jack is the most recent person to have his name written down, but him and Gabby had his... Well, technically Mitch has his name written down at least, because he only got 1 vote, but that was the vote to send him home. But other than that, Jack and Gabby only have 2. Abby has 5, and then Jake, I think, has... how many does Jake have? Like 12?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I just want to quickly mention Hannah's name constantly being written down.
Yeah.
Now, I did suffer from this in an org that I did talk about a while ago, where every tribal council I went to, my name was written down at least once. and your first time playing, your name was only written down twice. Once at your very first tribal and once at your very end tribal. And you were also someone that kept voting for the same person over and over again. Shout out to you, Lindsay.
Yeah.
Just seeing your name over and over again does kind of take a toll on you. Like, why is it always me?
Yeah.
So, note to future Survivor players: maybe target a different person each week. If it didn't work the first time, and probably
Take a
not the
little
second
break.
time,
Regroup.
take a break.
Yeah.
Target someone else. Maybe instead of voting off Hannah, maybe some of the people have been like, oh, maybe we should target Gabby. Because nobody's talking about her. So that is the Syrvivor Syracuse double episode podcast. Sad to see Owen and Hannah go, but we're at our final 7. I'm pretty sure like 2 or 3 episodes left before we figure out our Syracuse All-Star winner. Who is everybody team? I think I'm just team villain.
I'm
just
team
weird.
villain
Like,
as well. Yes.
yeah, it's like I want them to win, but then I don't want them to win. But then I want all of them to win. I think I'll be happy with no matter who wins, which is rare for me. It usually has to be this person or else. It's like when I watched season 3 and it was like, oh my god, if Madison doesn't win, nobody else will, like, how would it live up to that? But Lydia's an amazing winner and she was definitely my second option. So who are you guys? Are you team Kat, team Cam, team Mitch, team Jack, team Jake, team Audi, or team Gabby?
Of the heroes, I'm team Mitch because got that McCurney type deal. And of the villains, I'd say Abby or Jack.
Yeah, I think I'm kind of team. Well, Kat's my only draft pick that's still left in the game, so I'm kind of obliged to say Team Cat. But yeah, I'm kind of Team Cat. And then for the villains, I think it'd just be funny if Gabby won. So I'm like Team Gabby, and I'm kind of weirdly Team Jack. It's like I'd probably like hate him if I was playing with him, but watching him, it'd be like, you kind of just have to respect him. So thank you again, Madison, for joining. If you guys want to check out anything else Survivor Syracuse related, like I said, I'm pretty sure the 13th episode is coming out in a couple of hours. So subscribe to the YouTube channel for that. Follow all the socials. If you join the Survivor Reddit Discord, there's a Syracuse chat to talk all things Survivor Syracuse. I'm in it. Madison's in it. A couple of other players are in it. Jake's in it. Geneva from season 2. Some other players that I can't think of. I'm pretty sure there's more.
Yeah.
And if you want more live reality games, subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow the Facebook group, join all the socials. You know the drill. And we'll see you next time for Survivor Syracuse Heroes vs Villains. Bye, guys.